Okay, so I'm going to be reading a book called Escape from Chernobyl. It's backwards for you guys, I think. It's just how I'm saying it, but anyways, yeah, it might be backwards. I know that you can see the back right now, but I can see the front. I'm going to be reading it. I'm going to do one chapter, and I'm going to read the description, and yeah. I'll do that in this chapter, and I'll upload a new chapter every few days. Or, I don't know. I don't know when I'll update it. I don't know when I'll read a new chapter, because, I mean, like, I don't read that often, unless it's a very, 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 very good book. Okay, I'm gonna read now. Oh yeah, I forgot I have to read. Okay. Alina and Lev are two siblings in Pripyat. I don't know how to pronounce most of the words in this book, so sorry if I get them wrong. One of the Soviet Union's proud nuclear cities. Both are asleep in their beds. Their cousin Yuri is a custodian at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, where he's fiercely attacking a spill in the hallway with a mop. Alana's best friend, Sophia, sleeps just a few doors down. His father is an engineer at the plant, a fact that has always filled her with pride. In 5 minutes, only 5 minutes, reactor number 4 will explode in a ball of fire. It will expel radiation across their town for 9 days before it's finally contained. But for these young people in the city of Pripyat, this is the moment that changed their lives. Okay, time to read it! Also, if you're wondering why it's very silent, my bird's asleep, and my sister and my mom aren't here. And my dad's at work right now, so yeah. Okay, Chapter 1, 26 April 1986, 1:12 a.m. Also, next chapter, I can read the little things before it if you want, but yeah. Yuri Fomichev, I don't know how to pronounce that word, picks a wooden splinter from his palm. Months of mopping floors and wielding hammers have turned the 16-year-old's hands into the tough Koloust? I don't know how to pronounce that. Mitts of a Siberian oil worker. He flicks the short away and grips the handle of his mop. The only way to avoid splinters is to wear gloves. Splinters, huh? Why did I say splinters? I don't know what I just said. Anyways, Yuri refuses to wear gloves. Better to toughen up. The people he respects most in the power plant, the Atomsky, I don't know how to pronounce that word. The nuclear engineers who have risen to great heights thanks to their brilliance and hard work, keep their bodies as fit as their minds. They box, run races, roll up and down the river Pripyat, then grind out all night. Shifts at the plant, taming the atom and bending it to the will of the Soviet state. Yuri is the Moscow Engineering and Physics Institute Young Scholarship winner. He swirls the mop, swaggy bristles through the puddle on the tiled floor with the same righteous fury and tidal coiled energy that drove him toward this goal. Also, by the way, I'm pretty sure there are 16 chapters in this book, because I've read it before, and there are 144 pages. Yeah. And we're on page 2. This is going to take a while. Yuri had been 7 years old when the Chernobyl Atomic Energy Station was officially connected to the Soviet power grid. 27 November 1977. Now, 9 years later, alone in the endless corridor that connects the plant's turbine hall to its 4 massive reactors, Yuri can still hear the triumphant sung by those first scientists, broadcast on state TV across the Soviet Union. For today, current flows from the RBMK. Also, there's light swearing in this book. The RBMK. Reactor Bolshoi Gnosti Canalia. Those are all. Wait, reactor is spelled wrong. Reaktor. That's not how you spell reactor. The National Nuclear Reactor of the USSR, 20 times the size of the American ones. That same TV show had taken viewers, like Yuri, kneeling on the carpet in the living room of his family's Moscow apartment on a quick tour of the glorious new power plant. The inner workings of the RBMK, sorry, I lost my place, are a highly classified state secret, but the broadcast had been permitted to show fleeting glimpses of the polished marble stairs and stained glass panels of Chernobyl's administration block. Also, whenever I put the book down and you can't see it, or I just look away from the book, like when I'm not doing this, that means that I'm actually talking to you and it's not part of the book, okay? Where was I? Oh, there it is. The sanitary locks where workers traded street clothes for white overalls, white caps, and white boots. The steel cavern of the turbine hall, all looming machinery and mysterious shadows. And finally, the concrete vault that housed and shielded the reactor core, as big as Yuri's apartment building. 7-year-old Yuri had pressed his face nearly against the screen, convinced of several things at once. His destiny had just been unlocked. This 5 minutes TV special had opened up a wondrous new path that would take him far from Moscow. The mysteries of the atom would rocket him into a glorious future, as if he'd been launched into the stratosphere like the man he's named after, famed cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin, the first human being in space and a hero of the Soviet Union. For today, I'm mopping the floor. Here, thanks, just like yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. Yuri had floated through his first day at Chernobyl as in a dream, moving through the very same sanitary lock he's been on TV as a little boy. He'd seen on TV as a little boy, donning the same white garments as new colleagues and mentors. The technicians and Adamski. Also, that's how I pronounce it, yes. He'd spent his young life idolizing. Once he was dressed, it hadn't taken long for one of those Atomski to puncture the dream by handing him a mop, leaving him stranded in a new reality. Yuri caught on quickly to the rules of this reality. At Chernobyl, scholarship winner means intern. An intern means errand boy, laborer, janitor. Yuri oils squeaky machinery, curling the catwalks of the turbine hall like a stowaway aboard some vast submarine, oil can in hand. He patches up hairline cracks in the rat's nest of steel pipes that deliver cooling water to the reactor core. He delivers trays of potent coffee to the engineers in the control rooms, monitoring the delicate machinery of the RBMK, catching a glimpse of the dashboards and panels, the dial switches and gauges that stand between atoms controlled and atoms free to spark their deadly chaos. But mostly, Yuri mops. And there's, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. Chernobyl's leaky place. Yuri's come to think of it as a living creature with a beating reactor core heart. And that creature, the monumental thing that looks so tough in its granite and steel, actually has a soft and easily wounded body. And from these wounds, many of them are well hidden, drip fluids of all kinds, from plain old water to oddly tinted oils to vicious foil-smelling goo. He lifts the mop from the puddle, sloshes it into his bucket, then presses the lever that lifts a plastic hatch to bring out the liquid. Such a simple and effective mechanism satisfies him. He splashes the mop back down into the spill, which is shaped like one of the lakes that claw Russia's vast interior. This spill falls into the oddly tinted oils category. Weird colors swirl and dissolve. To occupy his mind, Yuri plays a game he invented called Where Did This Lake Come From? Where is this wound in this Chernobyl creature? He also ponders a much more interesting question: will this leak ever be fixed, or will it be dispatched to mop the same section of the corridor again and again for no apparent reason? And another mystery of Chernobyl. I don't know why they just included that. He glances up at the ceiling and scans it for the leak source. Nicknamed the Golden Interior, the 800-meter hallway is paneled in thin strips of blonde wood polished to a high sheen. It's like staring down an impossibly long tube lined with rich gold plating, and the ceiling is no exception. More gold, interrupted by harsh overhead lights. There, in a scene between the panels, is the sparkle of liquid catching the light. In his mind's eye, Yuri drips up through the ceiling to the pipes running just beneath the roof of the corridor, connecting the control rooms and reactors with the turbine hall. Yuri studies Chernobyl's blueprints late into the night. He suspects that if he were given the proper tools, equipment, and 10 or so years, he could take the power plant apart and put it all back together by itself. He notices the location of the leak. He will report it to a foreman, and the leak will either be patched or it won't, according to some political process that Yuri doesn't understand. The place where the splinter went in begins to itch, and he rubs his palm against his white overalls. Whenever he thinks about the orders coming down from on high, it's either got followed or don't, according to a different system of orders, Yuri's body tingles. The politics of grown adults are another kind of new reality, too shadowy for him to fully grasp, and in his heart, he doesn't much care to try. He feels a creeping sense of guilt, as if the silent thought is the same as actually criticizing the Soviet state out loud, which is what his Uncle Pablo does every single night, as he sips his after-dinner tea. Yuri's knuckles turn white as he tightens the grip on his mop. Uncle Pablo is Yuri's father's brother, and he has been hosting Yuri since he's been in the city of Pripyat, interning at Chernobyl. Yuri's never met anyone like Uncle Pablo. He is a radio announcer, the voice of Pripyat's news station. All day he reads news reports celebrating Soviet progress, the launch of a new submarine class out of the shipyard in Leningrad, announcements from the Kremlin, plus news of Americans' failures. Pavlo's voice is comforting and familiar to the citizens of Pripyat. Yuri has witnessed total strangers greet his uncle in the radio department store and shake his hand, prepared to pose for a photograph with the voice of Radio Pripyat. But at home, it's a different story. Chapter 2. Earlier that evening. I won't be reading it this time, but it's a small preview. Also, this is the only chapter that actually, I think, that doesn't have a date, an exact date, but it's before the last date. I wasn't paying attention. But, yeah. I've already read this, so I'm not really paying attention to what I say. So, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah. I'm just gonna... Okay. Oh, also, this happens on 26 April 1986 to -118. Yep. Yeah, that's just what the book says. So, yeah. Also, I have something to say when I put this away. Also, any normal viewers, just get off. But if you're, if you're someone who makes theories, I need to tell you something. Just like Matt Pat and other theorists that watch Matt Pat, like me, because I watch Matt Pat, don't question it. Okay, if you're a normal viewer, hopefully you're gone by now, but if you aren't, and you're a theorist, just like Matt Pat, I don't know, but I want him to see me. I actually am starting an ARG. It may not be as complex as your other ones because I don't understand those like math blah blah blah, photo specs. I don't get all that stuff. It's just gonna be very simple, but very hard. Okay, like it's not gonna be that hard, but it's not gonna be nearly as hard as the other ones. But this one's still gonna be pretty hard. So yeah. Next chapter, I have no idea when it's going to be uploaded, but next upload will probably be it. So, bye.